Hey you guys, welcome back to Romance Review TV with Lady T, and we have our final episode of the season of Love Island USA Season 4, The Reunion. And it gets a little bit of dicey, especially between some of the guys, some of the ladies, and I just don't like the fact that they had Sydney kind of relive everything in Casa, because look like this is her first time seeing it. So we'll unpack all of it. But before we do, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel for all updates. And please don't forget to like and share. So, of course, you know they had to start off the show with our hostess of the mostest, Miss Sarah Hyland. And she's looking beautiful as ever. And she's also a newlywed. Congratulations to her. Then we talked to our two bombshells, both Val and Tyler. Of course, Val had a connection with Jesse. And then, of course, Tyler had a connection with Serenity. Now, I will say the interesting part when they talked to Val, she felt kind of slighted about the fact that she felt that Jesse wasn't being 100% with her, and she felt that he misled her in some kind of way. See, and I don't know what these people expect coming into circular dating, because this has pretty much been the running theme of this season and this particular reunion, except some other parts, is this whole thing about the fact that people have multiple connections, but at the same time, when they move on to a connection that's a little bit more deeper, then the other person feels slighted. That's the chance that's going to happen. But speaking of connections, Serenity is on the couch, and her and Tyler has been hanging out since they have left the reunion. And according to them, they got real cozy in New Orleans last week. And so really they didn't put a definition on the type of relationship that they're in. Pretty much they're just kicking it. They're just seeing how it goes, taking it one day at a time. And we know that, of course, Bria was the one that put her with Chazz, which, of course, ended up sending Tyler home first. However, let's talk about Serenity and Chazz. So Serenity decides, and I don't know if I want to use this word. Some people might not like what I say. It looks very performative how she did this whole thing. But she was talking about how her and Chazz, she didn't get what she expected, and she felt like he didn't do his part. As for Chazz, Chazz was like, I put in 100%, but I wasn't getting anything in return. And I know for the most part in the beginning, a lot of us saw that, you know, he wasn't getting that. And then he said that both Courtney and Zeta saying that he's been villainized in the villa, and she cleaned that up. Zeta told him, look, we chose to keep you on. We could have voted you off. But, you know, he kind of calmed down at that point. But Serenity was really trying to come for him. But he wasn't backing down because he felt that I was doing all these great things for you and it wasn't reciprocated. And for the most part, I think that's what we saw too. Then we got Kat and Jared. Now, of course, Kat she was coupled up with Chazz. Of course, when they came back from Casa Amor, she decided to stay with Chazz to get to Jared. Now where we are with Jared and Chazz, of course, if you haven't seen the video on my channel, they did a live talking about their relationship, and they are doing just absolutely great. She's met his mom. They're making plans to take their relationship as far as they can. They seem pretty happy. She said that she had a connection the day that they walked in as bombshells together. So I thought that was pretty cool. Deb and Jesse, they were up next, and they talked about their up and down journey. And we already know they were the third place winners this season. And they got a chance to have a conversation with Sarah about their relationship and what the plans are. They officially made it official toward the end of the season. And his lease is up. He lives in Texas. He's planning on moving to LA to be closer to Deb. I also did a copy of their live on this channel. But hey, they're making plans. Then it was Bria. So we all know the issues that happened at the beginning of the season between Bria and Timmy. And of course, Chazz put Bria with Timmy, which snatched him away from Zeta. And they had a little bit of contention back during the season, and there was a little bit on this reunion as well. And she got to see everything. I said, boy, these doggone producers are shady as F. And the thing is, she got to see everything. Bria got to see everything. They all got to see all of it. And so, and especially with Zeta, because they've been in the villa so long, so she really haven't seen any of this stuff. However, Bria was like, my time was cut short. If I had a little bit more time with Timmy, I think it would have been different, blah, blah, blah. And you can tell by the look on Zeta's face, obviously they had issues. And we know, and Bria did say, well, we kind of hashed it out. And we tend to move forward. But she actually felt that she would have had a stronger pull on Timmy than Zeta would. I don't know about that, because I think if Timmy actually wanted to be with Bria, he would have chose that, but he didn't. He chose to be with Zeta. So I don't know where she getting that from. I honestly thought that she was better off with Jeff. And I don't know if there's an opportunity for that, especially with all of the stuff that happened last weekend. But yeah, Zeta is feeling some kind of way. And the other thing is that even though Bria ended this off on a good note, something is brewing here in this situation. And I don't know if there's any conversation that has happened outside of the villa after maybe this reunion or after whatever. The reason that I say that, because on Twitter, Zeta was like, hey, she was way too nice at the reunion to a certain bird. If I hadn't seen what I saw, you can pause these tweets and read them for yourself. And she was like, why can't people just say things to your face? She had some other things to say. So obviously there is still some hot water going on between those two. I'm wondering if Zeta is actually going to come out and say something. So now we got Joel and Bella. Now remember, Bella was also with Chazz. Chazz was, pretty popular in the villa this season till he was voted off. However, Bella and Joel has not seen each other until now, until the reunion. And he had already had a poem written for her. He's interested in trying to take this to the next level with her and see where this could go. This is their official first time reconnecting. So I'm going to keep an eye on these two outside of the villa. Now we got Courtney. Now, Courtney had a couple of connections. She had a connection with Andy. He was a mama's boy. Remember that? And then there was a connection with Felipe. That didn't work out. Then she had a connection with Bryce. They were in the villa for a while. That didn't work out. And then she had a connection with Chad. Now, of course, we all know Chad moved on to Phoebe. So what's going on with Courtney? Well, it seems that her and Bryce has now reunited, and they are seriously dating. They reconnected, and I saw a little bit of this on social media early today because she was all in his comment section on his social media account. So a lot of people were seeing this. So now we got confirmation that these two are officially together. And they're working on the relationship. Now, this is where I get kind of pissed off at the producers, because Sydney had to relive every moment through that whole thing. And it brought her to tears. I felt sorry for the girl. I was like, hurry up and get past this part. Y'all keep taking this girl through this. They got to the part about them, making it official. I love you, becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. But even talking this out after the whole, montage, you can tell she was struggling. Now, they're still together. They're doing some lives and TikToks and stuff now, but they're good. But I hate that they dragged that girl through that. Speaking of Isaiah, then they hit the rock with, of course, Phoebe. And Phoebe was with Isaiah. She was with Chazz. She was with Chad. And she even tried to have a connection with Joel. And yeah, they really went through this whole process of how she was like the Danica of UK season. If you guys ever watched the UK version of Love Island this past summer, Danica had multiple connections that just did not work. And Phoebe finally ended up with Chad. Now, one thing about Phoebe and Chad, these two are weird. They talk about biochemistry and they have like what you call very highly scientific intellectual conversations. And he said, yeah, pretty much, even though we find it interesting, most people find it boring. And you can tell by the audience, a lot of them found it boring. How they describe their current relationship, they don't. They don't have any labels. They just call it their wild, crazy situationship pretty much. And whether we turn out to be cool people together, fine. If it turns into a relationship, that's fine too. But right now, they're just together. And I don't see that lasting no time because honestly, I think Phoebe just pretty much climbed the guy coupling connection just to get to the end, which she almost made it there until they were voted out before the finale. But other than that, these two are just pretty much in the friend zone, maybe with a little extra benefits. So next up, I was wondering when they were going to hit this particular topic, the Jeff and Naija situation, because they started off like Romeo and Juliet and then had the most explosive ending to a relationship right before the finale in all seasons history, and it's only been 4 seasons. However, they did bring Naija up. Naija talked about how they started, but she broke down what happened at the whole let's see who we're going to vote out type of situation. We all remember that. She even said that she agreed to what he was saying. She don't like how he went about it, and she don't like what happened on the way out when she tried to tell Timmy, I'm sorry. And he felt that, why are you consoling him? You should be consoling me. I'm your man. F Naija, F you Naija. So he did say that. They replayed it. So I want to put that out there. And she said that, I don't want to be disrespected. I know my worth. I got to choose me. I mean, we ended up being, move forward. He apologized and everything. But I feel that, it was best for me to not stay in the relationship and be able to move forward. So I kind of wish he was there. I'm assuming that the producers asked him not to be because normally he would like to speak up for himself. So I'm thinking they told him no. I kind of wish that he was also there. A lot of people were there. He wasn't there. Tiger Lily wasn't there. Yeah. So unfortunately, there was multiple interviews on the outside. I know you guys were telling me they're good now, and it seems so. He said that they're good. So that's where I'm going to leave it at this point. It's just that, I kind of wish that both people were there to both tell their stories. When you have two people telling separate stories, you never get to the meat because you got to look at each other in the eye. So let me know what your thoughts is on that. But let's continue. And then can we not forget about Gabby showing up, throwing a whole monkey wrench into Chazz's story about him and his connection with Bella and, of course, Gabby. Gabby said when she came in, like, we're going to get this straight. You told me when we were in that hideaway that you taking me back to the main villa. And then the next day, you left me in the dust. And so, of course, Bella, has now moved on to Joel. But at this point, she turned around and she said, you know what? Hey, things worked out the way it's supposed to because, hey, I know my worth and, you know, I know that I should have been treated better. And, you know, so he looked like a whole player this season because of all of the connections. The first two connections, he said he put in 100%. After Casa, he was like, you know what? I'm just going to take my time and do me, which ended up where, you know, in this case with Bella and Gabby, it didn't look good for him at all. And of course, Phoebe is part of that too, but Phoebe was doing her own thing as well. And then also, who was sliding into Tyler's DMs that wasn't at the reunion? Now, I don't know who that could have been. I mean, people were tossing names around. I want to know what you guys think. But, you know, with Serenity, she was like, as much as they sliding into his DMs, they sliding into mine too. But as we found out, ultimately, they are together and, you know, they've been doing their own thing. But I'm curious to find out who slid in his DMs that was part of Love Island. And then last but not least, they did at the end of the show an interview with our reigning king and queen, Zeta and Timmy, and they talked about the different things that they went through their journey in the beginning, and the rest was pretty much smooth sailing. They're still exclusive. So, I mean, and it looked like they've been pretty much together offline as well. I mean, well, away from the show, not offline, but away from the island. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's up with them. I know she probably will be striking a deal pretty soon. Jeff he just signed a deal with Fashion Nova. So we should be seeing him doing a lot of Fashion Nova stints. And I'm trying to think anything else that I came across. I know some of the other girls, they're probably going to get a bunch of brand deals. No problem, because all of them are, you know, their following is growing day by day as, you know, the season is now over. So, you know, we'll just have to keep our eyes to the skies to see who continues to stay together. Three of our top three couples so far is still together, but how come a reunion is only a week out? Usually most reunions are 3 months down the road, so we can really see what happened. But it is what it is. They did the same thing with the UK version. So there we have it. We are done. We are done with UK Love Island, and we are officially done with USA Love Island until next summer. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Let's get the conversation started. And stay tuned for all of my other videos that's coming out. You know I'm going to keep you posted with anything that goes on with any of our current Love Island contestants as well off the island. So until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye.